in.
The animated Anarchy series presents the animated Showdown.
All right, what's up, everybody? Wednesday afternoon, we're on your lunch break. This is the Animated Showdown, episode 32, part of the Animated Anarchy series. Here on the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel, I am, of course, your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
All right, Sean is with us.
Hello.
And, of course, our wild card, Dave.
I almost fell.
Way to interrupt Dave's introduction.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got a big one here. It's probably going to take us a little while because I think these battles aren't as one-sided as Saturday's were. But we are going to have on this program, we have Paw Patrol taking on the Bubble Guppies. We're also going to have the Rising of the Shield Hero take on KENLCHI, the Mightiest Disciple. We've also got Samurai Jack taking on Danny Phantom. Static Shock takes on Men in Black, the animated series. And the main event is going to be the Gargoyles taking on the Real Ghostbusters. If the Real Ghostbusters sweep, they remain perfect because they are right now 2-0, 60 points. They can move to 3-0 and 90 points with a sweep and tie 16 for the 1 seed. All right. If you've never seen the show before, randomizer is going to be pulled up. 5 categories are going to be picked. If a show, and then these guys are going to judge. If a show wins 3-0, 30 points. 3-1 is 20 points. 3-2 is 10 and 5 for the loser. If a show is swept, they lose 10 points. Now, Sean is the only one that can use his power right now. If he uses it today, then it resets for Saturday. What that power is if a category comes up that he does not like, he has the power to try to change it. He can say, hey, I want this category out and I want this one in. One of these guys would have to second it in order for that power to be fully used. So without any further ado, let's go ahead, share the screen. And can everybody see that screen?
Yep. Yes, I can now.
All right, cool. All right, one click. All right, cultural impact, merchandise, overall enjoyment, voice acting, memorable moments is what we are dealing with right now. Sean, the floor is yours.
Wait, hold on. I'm writing them down. Let me influence you. Hold on.
Sean, I did you a solid. The last show. No, I'm joking.
I would like to change merch for animation.
Can I get a second?
Sometimes. Yeah, I second that
Right.
immediately.
I'm taking that.
That's
All
my
right.
favorite category. You already know I'm going for that.
All right, so it's going to be cultural impact, merchandise, overall enjoyment, voice acting, and moments. So, all right, so how do we feel about all that?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think the first battle is going to be a brutal one for one side, though.
You took out merchandise for what again? Animation style?
Animation
style.
style.
So, unfortunately, Eric, your least favorite is still in there.
Yeah, I know.
Voice acting.
Oh well.
I
I thought Sean was gonna do me a solid.
You
I
make
did
fun of
remember.
him and make him break ties every episode.
But I took out merchandise in the last episode for him.
Yeah. You make his life miserable. It's almost like you're married to him and not Danielle.
One right don't make a wrong, Eric.
But I know that's why I figured I'm like, all right, which one is he gonna do? Which one is he gonna take out? Is he gonna take out his least favorite or Eric's least favorite? And then I'm like, nah, he's taking out his least favorite.
Boy,
The merchandise is taken
some
out twice.
animes in there. It's like I hate doing the anime merch.
Well, yeah, because we don't know the anime merch. One of us does.
Our boy Dave
For
does.
for a majority of them, I know like how their merch goes. There's some animes on here that are new to me that I started watching because of this.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get started. First battle is Paw Patrol versus Bubble Guppies. Paw Patrol is, I believe, this is one of those I actually have to look up. But they are, I believe, 2-0. Or no, they're 1-1, 25 points in the division of Sue Hummer, where Bubble Guppies 1-1, 10 points in the division of Jordan Zavala. Now, with a sweep, Bubble Guppies can tie or tie right now Code Geese for second place in the division. I know, Dave. If Paw Patrol can get a sweep, then they will be right now in the lead in their division, at least until Demon Slayer and DuckTales go. So Paw Patrol can at least have a division lead for a couple of weeks. If they sweep, let's go ahead and get started. Cultural impact. Dave, who had the bigger cultural impact of the two shows?
I'm going with Paw Patrol here. They were ranked top preschool show globally on Netflix, and they broadcast over 160 different countries. They're a multi-billion-dollar franchise. So they're generating over billions a year. And they're just a cultural phenomenon, I believe, in this day and age, and they're everywhere.
All right. Sean?
Paw Patrol, hands down. I can attest that my kids prefer watching Paw Patrol than some Bubble Guppies.
Okay.
Same with mine.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
Yep, sweep it. As these guys said, it's global. It's more popular. I didn't even know what Bubble Guppies was before the series.
All right. They're up 1-0. Two more, and then they sweep. Animation style is up next. Both shows are kind of similar in the style, come from the same network. But Eric, who has the edge here?
I gave it to Paw Patrol. I thought it was a lot more detailed and a lot more cleaner. So.
All right. Sean?
Paw Patrol. Their animation is backed by whatever Hulu or Netflix and all these big streamers contribute to. And Bubble Guppies is just it kind of looks like a show you watched in the early 2000s at sometimes.
All right. All right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going Paw Patrol here. It's brighter, it's more detailed. Action scenes in a city setting, and Bubble Guppies, it's just like a underwater aesthetic that isn't that great in my eyes.
All right. Paw Patrol's up 2-0. One more, and then they sweep, and they take a at least temporary division lead. Overall enjoyment is next. Dave, you get
Yeah,
to go.
I'm going Paw Patrol here. It's definitely more enjoyable. I could sit there and watch it with my kid and not hate watching it. Unlike Bubble Guppies, I can't stand when that's on. I really can't.
All right. Now, is your kid a fan of both?
He likes Paw Patrol more.
Okay. All right. Sean?
Paw Patrol. The movies are really good. The show's pretty good. There's a better story. It's not just like an educational kids show, but it is at the same time. It kind of teaches them like empathy and, you know, courage and stuff, where Bubble Guppies is kind of like a toddler show for 1 and 2 year olds. That is like basically just trying to teach them numbers in a sense. But Paw Patrol has just got more of an intriguing factor because of their story.
Yeah. My kid's obsessed with Paw Patrol. I mean, he carries around Chase, a stuffed animal Chase, with him
Yep.
everywhere inside the house.
William's weird. He likes watching Paw Patrol here and at my dad's, but he really likes watching Bubble Guppies at my parents', but he won't watch it here.
Huh.
All right. Eric?
Yep, Paw Control.
All right. Paw Patrol is going to take a 3-0 win. They're going to sweep. And right now, they surpass My Life as a Teenage Robot for the division lead. But it very well could change because Demon Slayer and DuckTales have yet to go. They could very well tie. Well, they could very well go ahead of Paw Patrol if they get DuckTales would need about 20 points to do so. And Demon Slayer would need a sweep to do that as well. But for right now, Paw Patrol is in the lead in Sue Hummer's division. We move on now to the anime battle for the afternoon. It is Rising of the Shield Hero versus KENLCHI. Rising of the Shield Hero is 1-1, 25 points in the division of Will Sharkey. KENLCHI, the Mightiest Disciple, 1-1, 20 points in the division of Will Penn. Now, Rising of the Shield Hero can move within 5 points of the division lead Mighty Ducks, the animated series, with a 30-point sweep here. KENLCHI can, well, right now, KENLCHI would still be 30 points behind Rick and Morty with a sweep. So right now, Rick and Morty is ruling the division of Will Penn. Rising of the Shield Hero with a big win here can kind of close the gap just a little bit. Cultural impact. Dave, I'm going to let you start because we're heading into your genre.
Yeah. For cultural impact, I'm going with the Rising of the Shield Hero here. I think it has more of a broader, more modern cultural footprint here with anime. And I feel like it's also reaching, the Western hemisphere as well, where we're at, compared to like KENLCHI. I think it's more of a niche for its fan base and its impact. So I just feel like it doesn't really have that global popularity that Shield Hero does.
All right, Eric?
Yep, I'm going with Rising of the Shield Hero. Also, as he said, more global and more. It just has impact more globally.
All right, Sean?
Yeah, sweep it. I went with Rising of the Shield Hero just because of the global acknowledgement that it's got.
Okay. All right, they're up 1-0. 2 more, and then they sweep. Animation style. Sean, whose animation was better?
I'm sticking with Rising of the Shield Hero. I like that style better. Both of them weren't bad. Like, they're both pretty good, but I don't know. Shield Hero has that slight edge, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with the Rising of the Shield Hero here. I just think it's more modern animation, so it's got quite a bit better quality. It's a pretty significant year gap in between these two. So I just feel like because they're a newer anime, they have better animation, better technology to use at their disposal. So I'm giving it to them.
All right, Eric?
Yeah, I went with these guys. Hero, it was more cleaner, more just better.
All right, they're up 2-0. Again, we are breezing by here just like we were on Saturday's show. 2-0 Rising of the Shield Hero, one more, and then they can sweep it. Overall enjoyment. Eric, what show did you enjoy more?
I enjoyed the hero. The Shield, the Rising of the Shield Hero better. I just like the fighting scenes, the story arc of the show better.
Dave?
I actually went Kenichi here. They're both like a zero to hero type, underdog stories, but I feel later in Shield Hero, specifically like season 2 and 3, there's a drop in quality, and not only in a little bit of like the animation, but the storytelling. So because Kenichi's storytelling is better throughout the entire series, and they're consistent, I went with them.
All right. Sean, you're breaking a tie.
Yeah, I liked Rising of Shield Hero more. I was more interested in the story and the whole premise.
All right, they're going to sweep it. They're going to win 3-0. So they are going to move within 5 points of their division. They cannot take a lead yet, but in stage 4, the gauntlet stage, they don't have that much of a gap. Kenichi is going to lose 10 points, so they are, moving even further behind Rick and Morty. So we're going to breeze right into the next battle, which is Danny Phantom versus Samurai Jack. Danny Phantom, 1-1, 0 points in the division of Joey Bianco. And Samurai Jack, 1-1, 20 points in the division of Tiffany Zell. Now, if Samurai Jack can get 20 points, they will tie Tokyo Ghoul for the time being. Tokyo Ghoul is not gone yet. They will tie Tokyo Ghoul for the time being for the top spot. If they can get 30 points in a sweep, then they will go ahead of Tokyo Ghoul for the time being before Tokyo Ghoul has to face Steins Gate in this stage, which I believe is actually coming up next week sometime, I believe. Now, Danny Phantom has a long way to go before they catch Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z has 70 points right now, so I won't even build up false hope for them. But let's go ahead and let's start cultural impact. Sean, of the two, who had the bigger cultural impact?
Oh, man. I think I put Danny Phantom just because I think that's still more of like a recognizable show, and people kind of don't really know what Samurai Jack is as much as you'd think they would.
Ooh.
I don't know.
All right, sound effects, you're up next.
Yeah, I went the opposite way here. Yes, I do agree with Sean that the popularity for Danny Phantom is a little higher in the nostalgia. But I think Samurai Jack left a bigger cultural impact through the industry, through artistic design, and its enduring legacy. Um, it also changed like the way that a lot of like because it didn't have a lot of dialogue. It was I think it was a master class in visual storytelling and influenced action oriented animation for decades after that. um, I think it was a masterpiece for its time, and I think because of that, it left more of an impact.
All right, Eric, you're breaking a tie here.
I went with Dave here. I went with Samurai Jack here. I agree with what he said.
All right, Samurai Jack is up 1-0. 2 more, and then they can get a sweep. Animation style is up next. You have Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon. Cartoon Network, obviously, where Samurai Jack aired. Nickelodeon, obviously, is Danny Phantom. Eric, go ahead.
I went with Danny Phantom because it's Nickelodeon. I think their animation is better, so I think they're top notch, as you have alluded to before.
I was just going to say, I know where you got that from.
Yep. See, I listen.
Yeah. Good boy. All right, Sean.
Sorry, I'm in shock and awe at the moment.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm trying not to watch it right now.
We're in animation, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with Danny Phantom. Both animations were pretty solid, but Danny Phantom just had a little more like brightness to it, a little more color schemes that I liked.
All right. I think decisions need to be made in Western New York right now. This is obviously being taped on a Saturday night, and the Buffalo Sabres are playing, and their goalie apparently just got pulled from just came up from the Pee Wee Hockey League.
Yeah.
So Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, for animation, I went with Samurai Jack actually here. I just feel like it took a little more artistic talent and style to do what they did. Like I said, it's a visual storytelling show, so that's what they primarily focused on. So I think they did sweeping visuals. They were very dynamic with their framing, and I feel like they had very good cinematic moments. And it had that unique aesthetic that a lot of shows didn't have. I thought they created their own unique style. Um, Danny Phantom, I feel like it was the classic 2D animation. It is consistent, but it's the simpler Saturday morning cartoon animation style compared to Samurai Jack, in my opinion.
All right. 1-1. So nobody is getting the sweep here. We move on to overall enjoyment. And Dave, go ahead.
This one's really tough for me. I do like both of these shows. It's hard for me to pick one that I enjoyed more because I enjoyed both. But man, I think I'm gonna go Samurai Jack here
All right.
with what I enjoyed more. Something about it. I remembered watching this growing up. I watched both growing up, but Samurai Jack was first, and I don't know, something about Samurai Jack. It just brings me to him a little bit more.
Okay. All right. Sean?
Yeah, I agree. I went with Samurai Jack. When you first watched it back then, it was like, it was like a cartoon show, but it was more on like kind of like an edgier side.
Yeah.
Like something just felt more adult to it. And like Danny Phantom was just like your average
Kid show?
kid show back then. That kind of made you like, it made me feel like I was watching an older version of Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents at times.
Right.
But like Samurai Jack was like, oh, okay, I didn't know they could say or do some of the things they're doing in this show,
Right.
So
All right, Eric.
Yeah, I went Samurai Jack. I feel like as an adult I would choose this, obviously, and then as a kid I would probably choose Danny.
All right, they're up 2-1. One more, and then they win it here, and they're going to get 20 points. But this one's kind of tricky because it's voice acting. Eric?
Ooh, my favorite category, right?
Yeah. That's why you're going first.
there we go.
This is tough, but I went with Samurai Jack. I thought their voice acting was tad better, tad cleaner, so I went with Samurai Jack.
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with Danny Phantom here. I just thought they had a little bit larger of a cast for their voice acting. They had some pretty big stellar voice casters like Rob Paulson, David Kaufman, stuff like that, which are known for their good voice acting. So I went with them because they have a little bit more of a cast, a little bit more dialogue within their show. So I went with them.
All right. Sean, you get to break a tie here.
Oh. I stuck it with Samurai Jack just because, like I brought up with the enjoyment of it sounding more adult than childish.
Yeah.
So
All right. So they are going to get 20 points out of this. So right now, they are tied with Tokyo Ghoul for the top spot in Tiffany Zell's division. And basically, Tokyo Ghoul has yet to go. When they go, obviously, they can take the lead. But right now, Samurai Jack, Tokyo Ghoul tied for the top spot in that division. Next up, we got Static Shock taking on Men in Black, the animated series. Static Shock is 2-0, 30 points in the division of Liam Jolly. If they can get a sweep here, then they will tie for right now, tie Devil May Cry for the top spot in that division. Men in Black, the animated series is 1-1, 30 points in the division of John Mealy. And basically, they're the first one, and they're not the first one. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show has already gone 3 times, but right now they have the division lead. They can pull away further with a win here, because right now, New Kids on the Block and G.I. Joe Real American Hero have yet to go for stage 3. So Men in Black can make it a little more difficult to be caught with a big win here. So we go to cultural impact. Dave, the bigger cultural impact.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked me on this one to go first.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah, I'm going with Static Shock here. I think it serves way greater in cultural impact due to it's one of the first animated series to ever feature a black teenager as a superhero, as a lead. I think it provided like much needed representation for the black youth in that culture. I think it brought a lot of social relevance, like what was happening within that culture as well. Including like racism, gun violence, stuff along those lines. I think it also has more of a enduring legacy for the show in particular. And I think it brought a little more authenticity. It was a little more authentic. Like I said, I feel like the culture really felt like it was resembling in their culture, but it was also accessible to all the audiences, not just the black culture. Men in Black, the show itself, I don't think it itself had a greater impact than Static Shock. And that's just my opinion.
Okay. Sean.
yeah, I went with Static Shock. Dave pretty much said everything about it. But and I also think the Men in Black show was like if you had to just be a fan of that and
To really want to watch it.
really yeah, even be
Exactly.
enjoyed to watch
That's
it.
what I
Like Static Shock was like you can be like a superhero fan, but you can also like relate to it a lot more.
All right. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, Static Shock. I was gonna say exactly what Dave said about the first black superhero. So yeah,
I don't know if they were the first. I just know they're one of the first. Like they're up there for pretty close.
They were groundbreaking.
I thought I read it
Yeah,
was the first.
They were
but I could
definitely
be wrong.
groundbreaking. I'm not sure if they're completely first, but I think they might be, or they're close to.
Yeah,
I just
Oh,
know
I think I
that.
read something about first or too. So
Yeah, I think I read something like that. So
All right. So they're up 1-0. 2 more, and then they sweep. Next category up is animation style. Eric, go ahead.
I prefer the superhero animation style, so I went Static Shock. I thought it was more cleaner, more detailed. I just like the fighting scenes. I just like everything about it.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I went with Static Shock. A lot better animation.
All right, Dave.
yeah, I'm with these guys. Static Shock was way more fluid with their animation style. I felt like the Men in Black was pretty like rigid and kind of gritty with their animation. I don't think it was that great.
Okay. All right. Static Shock is up 2-0. 1 more, and then they sweep, and Men in Black's chances of trying to extend their division lead go up in smoke. Next
Overall
category is,
enjoyment,
huh?
right? Oh, never mind.
What were you going to say?
I said overall enjoyment is next.
Yes, that is the next category. Sean, start us off.
Static Shock. That was just, I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of Men in Black, the cartoon. Like, I liked the movie, but I couldn't get behind watching it as a cartoon.
The movie was fantastic. Now, they did a couple of them, but the first movie was fantastic. This was just like, there are some shows that should not, you don't have to turn them into cartoons.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You want to, kind of, go along with the popularity, but they don't need to be a cartoon. This
Right.
was one of them. It's not like you're going to turn Beverly Hills Cop into Beverly Hills Cop, the animated series.
Facts.
Right? You don't need it. You don't need Lethal Weapon, the animated series. You don't need Tommy Boy, the animated series, although that would be funny.
It would be. I was gonna say.
Okay. You don't need it. Some shows were able to pull it off.
Like Batman.
Well, I mean, yeah. But Batman was able to pull it off. There's a couple other shows like that, that were movies turned into cartoons that did really well. One of those, it's going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be a gauntlet match coming up. Based on a movie gauntlet coming up in stage 4. So we'll be able to debate it a lot more. But all right. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going with Static Shock here. It was definitely more enjoyable for me.
All right, Eric, your hand came up at the last second.
No, I wanted to
ahead.
go. I wasn't. It wasn't going to be any different. I went with Static Shock.
Okay. All right. They're going to win it 3-0.
Yep, this is where categories matter.
Yeah.
So I didn't see a sweep, but
So they're going to get 30 points. Right now, they tie Devil May Cry for the top spot. Devil May Cry still has to go, and they're going to go in a few weeks. So it can change. But right now, Static Shock is tied with Devil May Cry for the top spot in Liam Jolly's division. Men in Black, the animated series, yes, they are still the best in their division. However, New Kids on the Block and G.I. Joe Real American Hero still have to go. So that could very well change in the next couple of weeks, especially DuckTales is up, or G.I. Joe Real American Hero is up in a couple of weeks to go up against DuckTales. So that's going to be a big one because that'll kind of determine top spots in two divisions there. All right, speaking of top spots, a show that is hoping to take the number 1 seed in this entire series, at least for right now. Well, they would be sharing it with 16. Real Ghostbusters is up in our main event here. They are going up against Gargoyles. Gargoyles 0-2, negative 10 points in the division of Sean Stranahan. Real Ghostbusters 2-0, 60 points in the division of Mindy Hummer. If they can sweep, they're going to be 3-0 and 90 points, and they will be tied for that 1 seed with 16. And also they will pull even further ahead because they are leading their division right now because Hey Arnold suffered a loss.
Sorry.
Another one?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Sorry, I got excited there. I didn't mean to talk.
I knew what you were getting excited about. But all right, so we have starting first in Gargoyles versus Real Ghostbusters. By the way, Gargoyles at negative 10 points. They are nowhere near the top, or and can get anywhere near the top of their division right now. But we start with cultural impact. Dave, go ahead.
Ooh, I was hoping you would have picked someone else to go first because this one,
this is a tough one.
This one was super tough for me because I feel like they both have such a huge impact. It's really, which one do you want? Because Ghostbusters is has a really big fan base, and it's it's huge. But Gargoyles, I mean, it's
by the way, Gargoyles is still relevant because of all the stuff that's come back.
It's fan dedication for that show. I feel like is a little more loyal, and I feel like its artistic legacy is a little more impactful than Real Ghostbusters. But I feel like Ghostbusters, they have more widespread popularity, and they're like a merch giant. So it's really difficult for me.
To be fair, so is Gargoyles.
Yeah. But for me, I really like Ghostbusters on this one. I think I'm going to go. I just think their widespread popularity for me, and their being a juggernaut for the merchandise and their franchise name, I think it gives it a little bit more of an impact, but Gargoyles is right there with them. It was very tough for me to pick.
Because by the way, just to kind of piggyback off your point a little bit, but also to kind of counterpoint it, Gargoyles has seen a resurgence, especially in their merch in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
New comic book, NECA figures. They remastered the video game so you could play it on the Nintendo Switch. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I do think they have the more loyal fan base, too. So, that's why it was also difficult for me to pick, because they do have. I feel like their show has more of a following and a loyal following than the Ghostbusters. So I feel like in that effect, they have a bigger impact than that effect as well. But it was so close for me. It was a toss-up. That's why I was like, man, I wish you would have picked one of them to go first.
Yeah, you're like, this is one of the times I didn't want to go first. All right, Sean.
I went with the Real Ghostbusters here. I just, I basically based it off of like Halloween time because it's so
That's
close.
a good time to base it off of, though.
Well, it's not just like that to like only have them win, but it's just so close between both of them that I mean, I felt like that was the only honest way to answer it.
Okay, so let me kind of like, because obviously they're going to win the category, but we are still going to get Eric's answer. And also, I'm also trying to stretch the show out as long as I can to make Eric sweat because he's got plans for about like 20 minutes. But
Thanks, Doug.
like the thing about this is that like when I was a kid, when I was little, Real Ghostbusters was like the thing. They were one of the more popular shows because of that movie.
Yeah.
And then 94 rolls around when Gargoyles comes out, and then Gargoyles kind of takes over that popularity a little bit because it's just like, all right, they're more of kind of like that. They're almost a more serious version of Ghostbusters because they're a team of people that protect the city. So they kind of like took over almost the fan base, but also too, Ghostbusters has been relevant for so long. But again, so has Gargoyles. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, funny thing is, Dave almost swayed me to the other side, but I'm sticking with Ghostbusters.
Almost way to the other side, and I picked Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, I know.
I think if you would have said Gargoyles, then Gargoyles probably would have won this category.
I almost did, Doug. Like I literally was 50-50 on the fence for this one. Like it was very.
I've been 50-50 like all week. Like my answers are written down because again, for anybody that doesn't know, we did not know Eric was doing the shows this week until 5:15. And we start our live show at 6:00 on a Saturday. So at 5:15 on a Saturday, that's when we found out that Eric was going to do the show. And so it was going to be me judging. And I was bad mouthing Eric, to myself more than I usually do, because I had to judge this battle.
It's like I knew that you were doing that, and I said, I'm just gonna save Doug here.
Yeah, because this is really tough for me because Ghostbusters is one of my all-time favorite shows, but I do also like the Gargoyles.
Yeah,
because they're both my style of show.
Yep, exactly.
So, all right, animation style is up next. Eric, go ahead.
This was
Who has a
another
better
tough
animation
one.
style? Huh?
This was another tough one for me. But I wouldn't go Gargoyles. I can't say it, but you know what I'm trying to say.
The guys on the
I went
roof.
with that because I like the I thought it was a little more cleaner and more detailed with the fighting scenes.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I went with Gargoyles as well. I thought it was a little more cinematic. It was shadowy. It was very detailed in their art style. I thought their quality was more consistent as well. In the first season, it had some inconsistencies with the animation, but generally it was pretty strong, and they were to, increase that consistency throughout the remaining seasons that I was seeing. And I feel like we're a little bit more fluid with their animation style too.
Yeah. By the way, they did change the name of the show. I believe in the third season, they called it Gargoyles, the Goliath Chronicles. So they did kind of evolve there. Sean, go ahead.
I went with Gargoyles here. I like the dark ambient style that they went with.
All right. Well, Real Ghostbusters is not going to sweep. Therefore, they cannot be perfect. Therefore, they cannot be tied for the 1 seed. So 16 survives being the lone 1 seed again. Like they right now 16 mathematically, statistically is the best show in this series.
Wow.
Crazy to me.
Who had that on
What'd
their
you say,
bingo
Dave?
card?
Huh?
Dave, repeat what you just said.
I said that's crazy.
Yeah,
Because
but
I don't even think like 16's that great, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It's
they're-
like okay. It's okay. You know what I mean?
I think it's the shows they've been going up against and the categories they've been given.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but other shows have tried to match up with them or tried to tie them for that one seat, but they have failed because the matches are getting tougher. But now the next category, overall enjoyment, and Sean, start us off.
Yeah, I have the real Ghostbusters winning this one. I like just the whole show in itself was great. Gargoyles, when I was younger, kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, from what I remember, I don't even think your brothers were really a fan of the show.
No, it was mainly like my parents and my oldest brother, but
Oh yeah, I remember Daryl being a fan, kind of, because I remember him and I talked about it a little bit. Because, all right, Dave, I heard a sound effect.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely want to go second because I'm going the other way here. I'm going Gargoyles. I just feel like I enjoyed it more because there was more lore to it. It was continuous. I thought their plot lines were more thoughtful. So I enjoyed that a little bit more. Real Ghostbusters, I mean, it was pretty good. They had memorable monsters and, some comedic chemistry between characters and stuff that's really good. But I really like the lore and the thoughtful plot lines that Gargoyles has. And I also like their animation a lot better too. So it's a little more enjoyable visually as well.
Okay. All right, Eric, you're breaking a tie.
I'm agreeing with Sean here. Ghostbusters. I grew up more watching Ghostbusters. To be honest, I didn't know what Gargoyles was before this. Not before this series, but before the other series. Did we have
Yeah, I
it in
was
the
just
other
gonna
series?
say, like a lot of these shows, you guys are just like, what the hell is this?
No, I didn't know what Gargoyles was until we started selling the toys, Doug. That's
Right.
what I meant.
Yeah,
So.
I got you. All right, 2-1, Real Ghostbusters. They can win it in the next category. Oh, but this category is going to be difficult.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's going to be voice acting. Now, Dave, I am going to have you go first, but I want to just start this off real quick.
Do it up.
Right? And here's basically what I'm going to say. There's two sides here, obviously, because it's two shows going against each other. But you have a show with legendary voice actors who are legendary because of the world of voice acting. And you have a show that have actors, doing the voices that are legendary because of other works, because they are legends in the entertainment business.
Ooh.
Okay. So that's basically, it's like two different sides. So they both have legendary voice casts, but one show is the voice cast is legendary because they are legendary voice actors. And
There's one thing that swayed me on this category to go one way.
Okay, well, you are going to go first, so go ahead.
The one thing that swayed me to go this way, I'm picking Gargoyles here. What swayed me to go this way is Lorenzo Music. He was in the original cast for voice acting for the Real Ghostbusters, but he was, after the first 2 seasons, he was gone. And replaced
I think that's also I really think that has a lot to do with the fact that they wanted him to focus on Garfield more.
Yeah, so I feel like that weakened the vocal performances a ton. And Gargoyles had a pretty big star-studded cast. I mean, they got numerous Star Trek actors, Keith Davids, Tim Curry, stuff like that. People
By
like
the way,
that.
Ed Asner, who's a legend in the entertainment business.
Yeah, exactly. So because the Real Ghostbusters lost Lorenzo, I had to go the opposite way here, just because they had to switch talent.
They
And
lost
the talent wasn't
Lorenzo.
as good.
They lost Lorenzo. They got Dave Coulier, who obviously he's Joey on Full House. And he's he is a good voice actor. He also had to he replaced Howie Mandel as Skeeter on Muppet Babies as well. So
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
that
he's a great actor. I just don't think he is Lorenzo.
he's not Lorenzo Music.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much. So I understand what you're saying, because I would kind of go like I was tossing and turning on this whole thing, or hemming and hawing. Eric, your hand went up. You go.
I went with Ghostbusters because I read the voices are better to me because I watched that more. So that's why I went that way.
All right. Oh, Sean,
it is close.
Huh?
But it is close. So
Yeah. Sean, do you have a decision to make? Where the hell are you?
I'm here. Sorry. I went with Gargoyles.
Let's go.
I thought their lineup was better. The actors did a better job.
All right. Well, by the way, if whatever happens, Gargoyles is getting points, so they're going to start itching their way out of the negative. No matter what. I mean, if they win here, they're going to fully be out of the negative. If they lose, they're going to be at -5. So they're still. This is the toughest fight they've put up. Now in stage 1, I did have them go against an anime because I didn't know what the hell I was thinking. But all right. Last category, memorable moments. This was another tough one for me. Again, I'm a fan of both shows. I grew up watching both shows. One, since I was old enough to start watching cartoons. The other one, when it, came around when I was like 8 years old, but I was still into cartoons enough to where I became a fan of that. Eric, your hand went up. You go first.
Yep, I went with Ghostbusters because I watched that more and I remember more scenes more. So.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I also went with the real Ghostbusters here.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going with Ghostbusters here. I just feel like their characters and the monsters that they're going up against are a little bit more memorable.
All right. So at the beginning of this thing, Real Ghostbusters had an opportunity to, possibly tie for the 1 seed. They barely won.
Yeah.
So they're still leading their division. But Hey Arnold is still on their tail. A little bit. So,
yep.
But they're going to get 10 points. Gargoyle's going to get 5. Takes them to -5 points. They're still a long way away from Alf the Animated Series, which is at the top right now of Sean Stranahan's division. But that was a fight. I knew it was going to be a fight. I'm glad I didn't have to judge.
You're welcome, Doug.
Yeah. All right. This Saturday.
I'm kind of glad I did.
Yeah, this was tough. This was. I knew this was going to be the toughest battle of this week's battles that we were doing, like for both shows. And by the way, it ended up being that. All right.
Yep. It was
this
the
Saturday.
One. Now it's only 3-2.
Yeah.
Of the 9 battles.
Yeah, exactly. All right. This Saturday, episode 33 of Animated Hour of Power. We're going to have Braceface take on the Angry Beavers. Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, takes on Battle of the Planets. Steins Gate takes on Tokyo Ghoul. So Tokyo Ghoul right now is sharing the spotlight with Samurai Jack If they can win it in any form or fashion, they take back the division lead in Tiffany Zell's division. Pup named Scooby-Doo will take on Mask in the main event. Mask is trying to get out of that negative territory. Pup named Scooby-Doo is trying to be the lead in the division. If they can get a 20-point win, they are going to tie Tailspin for the lead in Patrick Lehman's division. If they can sweep Mask and put Mask even further down the hole that they're already in, then they will take that division lead. Animated Showdown next Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. Space Ghost is going to take on Hong Kong Phooey. Claymore takes on the very perfect right now Black Butler. So here we go, Dave. An anime can tie for the 1 seed. If he's still there.
Yes, I am.
But so if Black Butler can sweep Claymore next Wednesday afternoon, they tie 16 for the 1 seed.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. I think they could get it done. It depends who their matchup is, though.
Well, they're going against Claymore.
I think they could get it done. I think
right,
they're gonna get it done.
All right. So is it going to depend a lot on categories or?
No, I think Clover's just better overall.
No, this is Black Butler.
Black Butler? Oh, I thought you said Black Clover. My bad. Actually, that makes it a lot closer, but I think Butler does take it.
All right. Do you think it's a sweep and they end up tied for the 1 seed?
I think it's going to either be a 3-0 or a 3-1, depending on categories.
Okay. Yeah, Clover already went. That was part of your judge's choice.
Okay. Yeah. I heard Black, and then I kind of didn't hear.
Yeah. But yeah, so Black Butler can do what nobody else has been able to do yet, and that's tie 16 for the 1 seed if they can get the win next Wednesday.
Come on, anime.
Huh?
I said, come on, anime.
Yeah. Lucas the Spider also going to take on Dora the Explorer. Here's a tough one, as it's going to be another Cartoon Network versus Disney Channel battle. We got the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy taking on Phineas and Ferb.
Say what?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy are going to take on Phineas and Ferb.
No, I know what you said. I was just saying. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then the main event is going to be Sonic Sat AM taking on Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Ooh-wee.
All right. Make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. This Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we start the 2-part series, WrestleMania Through the Years. We're going to talk WrestleManias 1 through 20 in part 1. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to Eric's Unscripted Sports Show. You're going to find him on Twitch at TCAX Money E. You're going to find our beloved Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCAX Godsent 95. You're going to find Sean on Twitch and TikTok at TCAX Reaper. Also, like and subscribe to the Dizzle 97 YouTube channel and Twitch and the Stabcast YouTube channel with Dangle and Mindy. We'll see everybody Saturday night for episode 33 of Animated Hour of Power.
Peace.